Even though Hogwarts Legacy has only been out for a little over a week, it is already smashing records for the franchise and also the gaming industry in general because it already broke a 22-year-old franchise record and is in the top 4 best-selling games on Steam of all time. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start off with this Forbes article because it does bring up a lot of the records that it's already broken. Hogwarts Legacy is the top 4 best-selling games on Steam, hits new peak player count. Now, I have been playing Hogwarts Legacy and I have been thoroughly enjoying my time with it, and I've been following all of the records that it has been smashing so far, and it is great to hear about a genuinely good game actually getting the recognition it deserves, because a lot of the times lately when big AAA releases come out, we end up being very disappointed, and then any kind of potential it has just kind of fades away. It's like Cyberpunk, right? It was a massive release, but it was massively broken, and now, it's actually fixed and playable and really good, but of course it's not really getting attention anymore because, of course, they decided to rush it out. And this game actually came out, it doesn't have a lot of problems, and it deserves all of the hype that it's getting. So it says the opening week/weekend of Hogwarts Legacy is coming into focus, and as expected, it's a monster. We all knew that this game was going to be massive because it has a massive audience behind it. I mean, there are millions of people worldwide who love the wizarding world. There are just a lot of, let's say, normies who don't really care all that much about gaming, who maybe only play select releases, who were going to pick this up, and in some cases, even buy systems to play this game. And well, that audience has definitely come to support this title. It says, as the game angles to be one of the top selling titles of the year, depending on what Call of Duty does and how Diablo 4 goes over at launch, we have some early data to look at. I do genuinely believe Hogwarts Legacy is going to be a contender for Game of the Year. I think that there's a chance it could be beat, but that also relies on a lot of things, like, as it says, what the Call of Duty this year is going to be, how Diablo 4 goes. There are also quite a few games that are supposed to release this year that we've, really heard no new information about, like Starfield. If Starfield releases this year, all of these games are going to have some serious competition. But I personally believe that they are going to delay Starfield, and it's not actually going to come out this year at all, and it'll be pushed into 2024, but that's just speculation. It says, though, while Warner Brothers is likely still collecting numbers for a big announcement, we can already see some pretty wild statistics for the game. On early access launch, Hogwarts Legacy broke records for the most streams of a single game with 1.28 million concurrent. This was on Twitch. It says some players were watching the game and some were mainly looking for Twitch drops, and ultimately it doesn't really matter because it still ended up being, part of the viewership number. It says last week the Steam Global Sellers chart listed 4 different SKUs of Hogwarts Legacy, taking up all of the top spots, 2 regular versions and 2 digital deluxe versions split by pre-orders and live purchases. And then Hogwarts Legacy peaked at 879,308 players on Steam on Sunday, behind only Cyberpunk 2077 for the most concurrent for a single-player game, also behind Elden Ring, if you want to consider that mostly single-player. Yeah, I mean, those launches were still larger. They do still have some more hype behind them, but Hogwarts Legacy is very, very close, and it's actually beating Elden Ring in the UK for physical sales right now. It says Hogwarts Legacy launch sales break 22-year-old record and demolish Elden Ring. Now, we obviously don't know if it will overall demolish Elden Ring, but we do know at launch in the UK for physical sales, it is outpacing the game by quite a bit. It says, as reported by GamesIndustry.biz, it says Hogwarts Legacy physical sales in the UK have smashed at least one record. According to the report, Hogwarts Legacy has had the biggest launch of any Harry Potter video game in the UK, beating a 22-year-old sales record set by Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone all the way back in 2001, which isn't really surprising, as it says we haven't gotten a new Harry Potter game for quite a while, so there aren't really fair numbers to compare here, but it says not only has Hogwarts Legacy beaten the record for the biggest Harry Potter game debut, it also demolished the first week sales of Elden Ring in the UK. There are still a lot of sales numbers that we do not have, that we are not going to have for probably a long time, at least a few weeks, unless they decide to make some big announcement and, talk about all of the sales numbers. I don't think that they will do that, but I'm sure they will soon, praise the release of this game and show off some of the numbers and probably bring up a lot of the statistics that I've already mentioned here. Only time will tell. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is doing fan-freaking-tastic right now, and we all knew that this game was going to be big. But honestly, I think that all of the boycott attempts from activists helped the sales of this game. They put out so many articles with every angle possible trying to get people to not buy this game, and it did trend on social media for basically weeks, and it probably led to more sales. It probably did the opposite of what these activists were expecting. They thought that people would be called a few mean names and they would decide to bow out of their purchase and cancel their pre-orders, but that's not what happened. It did bring a lot of new eyes to this title, and when a lot of people are talking about a game, even if it's over, alleged boycott attempts, that doesn't really matter, because there's still going to be people who are going to say, screw the activists, I'm going to support this game just because it's going to make them mad, which has obviously happened. I've talked about it a lot, but yeah, I'm sure that these journalists are pretty mad right now. We've seen quite a few, reviews released that absolutely trash this game. Wired gave it a 1 out of 10, which in no universe did it deserve a 1 out of 10. But yeah, even though they've tried their hardest to get people to cancel and boycott this game, it has not worked, because it is selling amazingly right now. It is smashing records already, and I think that it's going to continue to do that. But right now it is in the top 4 best-selling games on Steam. It has hit new peak player counts. It was smashing records on Twitch, and now, of course, it holds the record for the most streams of a single game with 1.28 million concurrent, and we are only a week into the launch of this title. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.